That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Dear employer,
my name is Phil Martin.
My name is Michael Raskovich.
Ronaldo Bird.
Zach Deiser.
I am writing to express my excitement at the opportunity to join your team.
As someone on the spectrum,
I possess a unique set of skills
that sets me apart from other candidates.
My detail-oriented nature allows me to communicate complex ideas,
to break down data,
to have no fear in meeting new people.
I may communicate in ways that are different from what you are used to.
Structure, routine,
and clear expectation.
Help me do my best work.
My autism allows me to have a perspective that needs to be seen and heard.
It allows me to make the world safer and improve systems in ways others can't.
It allows me to bring people's inner worlds to life with my artwork.
My autism
will bring your team important insights.
Thank you for your consideration.
An autistic inclusive workplace is good for business. It's time to make a change. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/win.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017 is the number. So one of the things I did, right? One of the things I did is to take the day and, like, kind of do nothing. Like, I didn't do a lot. Well, what about Dr. Ken's truth? Well, the truth is, there's no truth today.
That is Dr. Ken.
Wow, really, dude? Really? That's rude. That's rude. That's the second person today that's been rude to me.
But that's funny, though.
No less rude. It can be funny and rude. Not that I'm bothered by it. I'm just saying it can be funny and rude. I'm just saying. And so people think I don't have feelings, right? What was that? What was that head nod?
You give off the vibe that you don't have feelings like that, or that things won't make you upset easily.
They don't make me upset easily. That is true. That is very true. I know some people that are so sensitive you look at them the wrong way and they're ready to fight or cry or complain, or you just kind of go, okay. And so somebody did that to me today. They made a statement and they thought it was funny until I said to them, well, that's rude. And they looked at me and I said, no, that's rude. And then they just kind of looked at me and just kind of went, well, you know, it is. And I'm like, oh, so now you're going to play it off? And so how far do you go when people say things purposefully rude, right? And they think they're being funny when in fact it's kind of rude. But I know I'm not offended by it. So the problem I have is if you do it to somebody else and they get offended, then it'll go south. It's like saying something. Anyway. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm just working on what's this? I'm working on being more offended by things that can be deemed offensive because other people, you might say it to somebody and it's really not, you know, they don't take it as that. They get all in their feelings. And then what? And then what? How do you feel? And so, how do you feel when people offend you? I try not to get offended by a lot of things. I challenge the fact that you had the temerity to actually say it because you were insulting me and you didn't think I would recognize you were insulting me. That bothers me more. Not the fact that you think that I'm smart or that you're being rude, but that you think I'm stupid and said it. And that was kind of like, And so, and it's that subtle arrogance that people have that they think they can do or say anything and like they don't care, which really shows, if you really think about it, it really shows their real character. It really shows your character when you're snide about it. Not by accident, but when you say it purposefully, that means you're just rude. And that you have an arrogance about yourself where you think you're smarter than everybody. I've had a couple people that I know do that. Make a snide remark that I really didn't know what I was talking about, but then I can say I didn't know what I was talking about. Or made a comparison between one thing and another thing, and so I'm gonna let everybody make up their mind. Well, what is that? Is that like a passive-aggressive argument or what? Makes no sense. None. And so it's Wednesday, it's hump day. And I'm gonna have to get over that. What are you getting over? 833-212-1017 is the number. I guess I gotta get over DJ Brother Z because he offended me today too. He offended me. And he was like, too bad. So I said, keep shaking your head like that. It's going to be a fight.
No, it's not even at
Why
you
hollering
at this point. I'm just shaking my head because if I offended you, then I know I offended Vince earlier. Gee, sorry.
Why you hollering at me?
Because you hollering at me. And now I'm like, dang, did I really hurt Vince's feelings? Like,
I don't even know what you're talking about. I have no idea what the heck you're talking about. Like, I was just kidding on a radio show, and y'all see how I get hollered at?
But, like, I said something rude to Vince earlier, and now I'm, like, second-guessing.
Who's Vince?
Vince Vetrano.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Something?
I told him, I was like, Vince, can I tell you something that's really messed up?
Don't say it on there. Wow! Did he get offended?
Well, now I can't tell because he, like, laughed about it. But
everybody does. But everybody does. To the point where when you're our height, people think you're like a giant. So I get it. I get it. That is funny now. You ain't the only one with a large one. Come on now. We talking about something different, so stop. That's what people think. That's that, right? That's that, yeah. Whoo, right when you think you know people. Right when you think you know people. It just amazes me. The human spirit amazes me. By the way, if you have a comment, 833-212-1017 is the number. If you want to, let us know what it is you're getting over. Let us know what you're getting over today. I'm getting over people being rude. But it's really not rude. You know what I'm saying? It's really not rude because when people say and do things, you take it that way. Other people take it that way. But if the person receiving it doesn't take it that way, I don't really think it. The problem is we're at a zero tolerance. We give people zero. Nope, you can't do this. That's it. This is it. You get one chance. You mess up. There's no second chance. There's no other, nothing. You just get burned. Poof. And I have an issue with that. Because we're all human. We all make mistakes. The expectation of perfection is the most ridiculous expectation known to man. But yet we do. You should know better. Know better to what? Know better to do what? Know better to say what? But that's not what we do. We hold people to these perfection standards, and when they don't meet them, we smack them. And then we feel haughty about it, like, look what we did. We got that person, but did you? Did you really? And it's unfortunate. Lana Banana said, did they apologize? There's no need to apologize. See, when you feel offended, it's you. If I felt offended, it was me. I wasn't offended. I was taken aback by what the person said and the fact that they felt it was okay to say that. I'm not offended, but listen to what it is you're saying. That's not okay. Because the other person that comes after me may not take it the way I take it. They may not be like, I'm going to complain. Well, I get that. Sit down, talk about it, flesh it out. But then it comes down to what Mike Tyson said, right? Everybody got a plan once they get in the ring till they get punched in the face.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
And Joe Biden wasn't very controversial. He wasn't. Now, he might have done some things in his long, storied past, but if you all have been in the same line of work for 46 years, you probably have done some questionable things too. Joe Biden was a safe choice. He was a level of common sense. He was a level of stability. He was a familiar political commodity. Democrats don't have that right now. Democrats are caught with their pants completely down.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
The Alpha Phi Alpha, Delta Chi Lambda, 7 Jewels Foundation Incorporated has supported over 125 young men through the Young Gentlemen's Scholarship Botillion.
We're asking for your support to help continue this important work and empower the next generation of leaders. Through this program, young men receive mentorship, personal development, and scholarships to achieve their dreams.
We need your help to raise over $20,000 in scholarships, including a $5,000 grand prize.
Call 414-364-2835 to make a difference today. Support the Botillion, invest in the future of our young men.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. There's lots of buzz surrounding the draft, but you won't find one seeping through Pella's windows and doors.
In fact, you should make Pella your #1 pick because right now you can take advantage of no interest financing options or free glass upgrades as long as you order by April 30th. Make a statement by adding Pella's architectural interest inside and out with maximum design flexibility. Their talented designers and installers can match your unique home through dramatic sizes, custom colors, finishes, profiles, product types, and more. Along with durable and distinguished details, all Pella products stand the test of time, which is why they confidently offer the best wood warranty in the industry. Don't miss out on no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Certain restrictions apply, and the deal ends April 30th, so place your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Get up.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Lana Banana said, just because you get offended does not necessarily mean you're the one with the problem. Well, it kind of do, because how you're taking it. If you allow someone else's words to change how you think, how you feel, how you act, how you be, that's on you. They may not know they're having that effect. They may not know that it's offensive. They may not know something that happened to you. Right? I'm just saying. You may not know. I had an instance where I said something, but I didn't know if the person I was talking to had been through what I was talking about. So I kind of went, and they kind of reacted, but I don't know. Have you ever had a conversation with somebody who was talking about something you believed only to find out? I remember somebody, what? Oh, I got a great one. So, talking about COVID, right? Remember when COVID hit, people were put on ventilators and they passed away. So we were in a group. It was like maybe 4 or 5 people, and they were talking about that. And I said, it's unfortunate that people passed away. It's unfortunate that people were put on ventilators. Some could not have been put on ventilators, and they subsequently passed away. I think that was terrible. Well, are you saying that people shouldn't be put on ventilators? I said, no, I'm not a medical doctor, so I can't make that decision. I don't work in public health. I can't make that decision. I have an opinion, but that's completely irrelevant. Bottom line is, I can believe what I want to believe. But what if I told you my mother or father or aunt or something, my grandmother, something like that, passed away during COVID, and they were on a ventilator? I said, I don't know. How I feel about something, I can't change because something happened to you, like you have an experience. I can't adjust myself because you have an experience. Why would I do that? I can believe one thing, you can have experienced something different, and they can exist at the same time. But when I get offended, I'm choosing to be offended. And just turn around and walk away. It happened to me today. I just turned around and walked away. And I looked at the person and said, wow, that's offensive. So usually if I tell you, hey, that's offensive, I'm not really offended. Okay. Like it was an afterthought. Because at some point, I'm responsible for my emotional regulation. Nobody else.
I'm not getting into a fight. I'm not getting into a screaming match. We ain't going to duke them up. I'm going to be like, okay. Now, I may not mess with you anymore. I may not talk to you anymore. I may not. But then that takes too much trouble. That's a lot of work. Every time I see this person, I have to change my demeanor. I have to change what I think. I have to change what I... Nah, that's too much. When I could just go, hey, and speak. But to sit there and go, no, it wasn't horseplay. And that's another thing. Good one, darling. If you're horsing around with the other person, you can't get mad if you get hurt. Like, what is that? If you're sitting here telling somebody your mama and they tell you your mama, why would you get mad? Exactly. Like Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Stupid. Nah. If I was Drake, I wouldn't be holding my head up for Degrassi either, but, you know, I'm just saying. And the fact that you're Canadian, so you're not really a real person. You're Canadian, right? They're like cardboard frozen people. I'm kidding, because I got a lot of students that are from Canada. They're pretty cool. And I love Toronto, by the way. Don't tell them. But at some point, you got to regulate yourself. It wasn't horseplay, because that's more so touch. But we equate words to touch, and that's weird to me. I can't believe you said that to me. Well, I can't believe you reacted that way. Did you understand such and such was happening? Well, actually, no. So why would you hold me to a standard that I absolutely knew nothing about? But that's what people do. Curly Q said, I'm nosy. I want to know what happened at this point. I'm not telling you. You know why? It really wasn't that important. Like, seriously, it really wasn't that important. Somebody made a statement in passing, and I went, And they were being a smart aleck, but they were also, quote unquote, being rude, like on the sly. And I needed to let them know that, one, I caught what you said, but two, that's kind of rude, but three, is it really worth me bothering? No. Is it really worth me saying something? No. And I thought about it, and then I went like, dude, what are you doing? You've been in car accidents. You've been in fights with people. You've been driving in a car at 100 miles an hour, and somebody gonna say something to you to knock you off your pedestal? Your pedestal only like a half an inch tall. It's like a heel, right? I'm like, yeah, don't bother. So you move on. Is that something you do? 833-212-1017. Is that something that you do? Darlin said, like being upset with youth when the TV was the distraction when people escaped. Now they're smartphones and agendas. Yep. That TV's going to rot your brain. It was the same as the teacher that told me, look, you ready? She used to look at me and go, foolishness. You're foolish. You talk too much. My response to her today, at the time, I was embarrassed and she hurt my feelings, and I was in front of her. I was in like 7th or 8th grade. You know, and she hollers at me and tries to embarrass me. I honestly think, and I think I told this story before, I honestly think I reminded her of her ex-husband. My voice, my height, something reminded her of an ex-husband, and she just didn't like me. I mean, she went out of her way. She would accuse me. I'd be sitting there reading with a book down on my desk where she could see my face, and she would scream out and holler at me, telling me to shut up because I'm talking. And I would just look at her. And then she'd scream, what are you looking at? And I wouldn't say anything. To the point where other students sitting around me would say, he wasn't talking. and she never got mad at them. I think I triggered her. Growing up, and I don't know what it is. Just like you spoke up when the white said something about your black shirt. Well, that's different because that's more racial. And I interpreted that as a boldness that made that person feel like they could say or do something to me. Like if you're triggered by my presence and that you don't want me somewhere, or why don't you leave, or something, that's one thing. But when you look at what I'm wearing and it says National Museum of African American History and Culture, and you snarl your face up, how do you interpret that? And Felix C., Wisconsin really didn't wake up. Like the percentage was higher than normal, but it wasn't anywhere near like a presidential. So don't get and nothing even. See, now y'all got me switched over to the politics. Anyway, I wasn't gonna get to that till after the break. We'll get to it. But just like when the person spoke up, when I spoke up about the shirt, it wasn't that. I just thought that was racist. He didn't like black. He didn't like seeing anything that reminded him of anything that wasn't him. I don't know that for sure. I'm only making an assumption, which is bad. But at some point, well, then stop doing it, Felix C. He said he took me sorry. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But at some point, we have to remember that you can't let other people take you off your game. You can't let other people say things, do things that make you respond in a way that's incorrect. Calling all Black-owned business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you looking to share your story and grow your reach? Well, we've teamed up with Associated Bank for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, 4 lucky business owners will win an opportunity to spotlight their brand and journey on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. So to sign up for your business spotlight interviews, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. All one word. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank member. I know. FDIC. Why would you say that at the end of me saying Associated Bank member FDIC? Why would you do that? Because when you respond when people say stuff, blah, 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 blah. And now with traffic on 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk Traffic is brought to you by Debbie Lazaga.
Southbound on 43, backing up from just south of Silver Spring, pretty much all the way down past Locust. Northbound, you got some backups from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Capitol Drive. Eastbound 94, slowing down through the Barker Road area where there is an accident off on the left shoulder. You're going to see delays all the way to about Brookfield Road, and then back on the brakes from 84th Street all the way into the Marquette. And we've also got northbound 894 delays coming out of the Hale interchange all the way up to Greenfield Avenue. And checking the TMJ Storm Team forecast today. Morning rain, a few afternoon storms, windy with the high of 62. Tonight, partly cloudy and breezy, a low of 42. For the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Finding stable housing shouldn't be a struggle. The Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center connects renters, property owners, and partners to the resources they need, whether it's rental assistance, legal aid, mediation, or tenant education. No matter what your situation is, you do not have to go at it alone. Get assistance today by visiting renthelpmke.org. That is renthelpmke.org, or stop by their office at 728 North James Lovell Street in Milwaukee. At the Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center, they are here for all your housing needs.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years from their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee. Their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth, powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. A busy night in Wisconsin sports. We start with the Brewers, who get their first win of the season, a 5-0 victory over the Royals.
Payoff pitch. Fly ball. Deep right center. See you later. Number 1 for Yelich.
With the win, the Brew Crew improving to 1-4 on their season. And lastly, we'll head over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks also snapped their 4-game losing skid as they beat the Suns 133-123 on the return of former head coach Mike Budenholzer in Milwaukee.
Hesitation. Giannis drives right at Richardson, hammers it down with a monster right-hand slam. The Greek Freak bringing the thunder.
Giannis with a team-high 37 points, and with the win, the Bucks improving to 41-34 on the season. They'll head on the road next to take on the Sixers in Philly on Thursday night. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm not a shy little girl, I'm a wizard. With a pearl in my hand, with a heavy dose of adrenaline, call me a chemical man. I'm not a shy girl, I'm a wizard. Do I have to say it again? I'm like a mystic stuck on a gumball. Decorate me with the stars.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the numbers. You know, there's times in everybody's life when life tosses them a curveball and you have to readjust and realign and rededicate your resources to really making things better. And sometimes you may know what to do, and many times it's the first time you've ever had to face an issue, especially when it's financial. For the last couple of decades, I've been able to turn to Educators Credit Union. I had a financial issue that involved another family member, and I was able to go in, get advice, and a plan. I'm here to tell you today that it worked. At Educators, our members are our purpose. As a credit union, we're not concerned about profits or the bottom line of shareholders. Our greatest reward is you achieving your financial dreams through lower rates and access to free financial resources. Experience more heart and less hassle by making the switch today, like I did. Achieve more at ECU.com, insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility is required. You sure really like that song, don't you? You had never heard that, had you? See? I told you my music repertoire was eclectic. Okay. See, he just, I can't, look, I can't take my music nowhere. That's going to be your chill. That's going to be your chill down music when you need to talk to people, right? You'll be, I know we need to play this, and then the people just calm down and stop sweating and all that stuff. Yeah. So, when are we going to talk about tariffs? When are we going to talk about tariffs? You want to talk about tariffs now? Because they passed. They went through. They are in effect. And everybody's freaking out. Oh, my God, the world's going to come to it. It ain't coming to an end. It is not coming to an end. You know why the world's not coming to an end? Because most of the tariffs were actually less than what they thought they were. And so I think one of the things that people forget, is that, no, there's no use. See, I'm torn between tariffs and I'm torn between elections. So I think I'm going to wait till 5 o'clock to jump into elections. I think I'm going to wait till 5 o'clock to jump into the tariffs, because we got to look at the Supreme Court stuff will Supreme Court rule on Act 10? But we don't know. I don't know why you would. You've gone this long without it. You've saved money. All the cities have made money. If you want municipalities and counties to really go into the dirt and lose money and your taxes go up exponentially, get rid of Act 10. The same city that complained about getting rid of Act 10 made $25 million, if I'm not mistaken, from Act 10 in savings for the city, and then told the clerks who worked in the police department if they came over to the city, they would be on a different pay scale and not make as much as other city clerks because the police department didn't have to pay into their pension. But that was only for 5 years. And then they started paying into their pension incrementally. So they just basically lied. I'm going to give you part of the information. I'm not going to tell you everything. We're going to pretend like I told you the truth. Oh, my God, you'll get upset, you'll scream, you'll holler, you'll vote, only to find out later, as usual, nothing. You all voted Democrat and wanted Crawford in. Yeah, I went to politics. And so you got her in. And you kept voting Democrat. You keep voting the whole ticket, and now you got Underly back in. Defeated Kinzer. Now your problem is she's going to get rid of everything that has to do with school choice. She's going to do her darnness. She's going to unfund it. She's going to do whatever she can do. Luckily, the legislature can act to stop her. But all them little black and brown kids, forget black and brown. All them black kids, where the parents are making under $64,999, they're making a good buck, but they're not making enough to be able to pay for school. Now they can through choice. She want to take all that away. She wants your children to go to a trash school and not learn anything so her kids can. This is the same one. Can you do me a favor and please try to find the interview I had with Jill Underly? So it must have been 4 years ago around this time. She's terrible. She's not going to do anything for Milwaukee at all. This is the same woman that let the superintendent get away with, you found it? Get away. How long is it?
30 minutes.
Oh, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
It's too late to play it now. Maybe next week we'll play the Jill Underly. So I can show you. We'll do it tomorrow. So I can show you this is what you're getting. This is what you're getting. She doesn't like choice. I don't think she likes the black community. She kowtows to the unions. She'll let anybody tear down the black community. Anytime you let MPS pass for 2 years without calling them out, without auditing them, and they owe you millions of dollars and you just pretend like they didn't, what kind of leader does that make you? That makes you an idiot. That's what it makes you. And it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. And yet we sit here and we look and we vote this woman back in. Whatever happens to schools in Milwaukee and Wisconsin, if you voted for Jill Underly, it is your fault. If you don't get money, if school costs you more, if your homeowner's taxes go up, if they want more money from you to pay for failing schools, and if they get rid of school choice, it is your fault. And I'm dropping it solely in your lap and your vote because it's idiotic. It's idiotic that people are so Democrat or so Republican, they just follow the party at will. Makes absolutely no sense. But that's okay. Follow it. When you get smacked by it, don't say anything. When it blows back in your face, don't say anything. Just suck it up, Buttercup, and keep going. They're going to gerrymander districts. And then what? Well, we decided that we're going to, and watch this, just so happens to be in neighborhoods that look like ours where we lose a vote. And I guess the two people that they're going to create, these 2 seats that they want to create in Wisconsin, are going to be in the most populated place. And they're going to end up being somehow carving out a little from us so they can give it to somebody else. Because that's what they always do. And we keep falling for the okie doke. Oh, they'll do better by us. They really haven't. We'll get more. They really haven't. All Act 10 is going to do is bring back unions that we don't control, that we have to pay into. And we're going to lose population. You're going to create 2 new seats and then give them to somebody else. Because you know that's going to happen. And somehow the Supreme Court's going to end up with some jacked up lawsuit Underly's going to do that's going to make her either get more money or be able to change something or get rid of choice. Why? The public schools are not teaching our children anything. Competition has always been the best thing to make people do their best. We, on the other hand, nah, we don't do that. Somebody else. And then, in the end, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we tried, but, maybe next time. I think you did really good work this time. And, next time, maybe we can hire you next time. Maybe we can elect you next time. Maybe you can get it next time. It's always next time. Always next time. When you give something, you have to ask for something in return. I find it interesting that now the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel decides to actually be a political paper. They wait till April 2nd to talk about George Soros, the billionaire donor to Susan Crawford, as if Elon Musk was the only person in the world that's a billionaire giving money to Brad Schimmel. Now you run the story. So now you can go and say, hey, we ran stories on both. Well, not in a timely manner. And that's what I don't like about the fact that the Journal-Sentinel calls themselves fair, balanced. We report the news as it. But then when you write stories, you wait and it only comes out after after she won, you want to talk about the $100 million and the 100,000 donors in all 50 states and the 28 million and Schimmel's a little over 15 million and Crawford with 28 million. And then you want to talk about throughout the campaign, Crawford criticized Schimmel for receiving support from billionaire Elon Musk, who is also leading federal efforts, what that has to do with anything. In Wisconsin, Musk paid door-to-door, right? However, you write that, by the way, and by the way, donors are also part of Crawford's billionaire donors, also part of her ultimate victory, namely George Soros, investor and philanthropist known for supporting democratic causes. And so, luckily, they went on to talk about him as an investor, philanthropist, his hedge fund, his Open Society Foundation, to which he has donated more than $32 billion. Biden campaign. He got a presidential Medal of Freedom before leaving office. Talk about the ultimate payback to one of your donors, but that's what politicians do. So I'm not mad. He donated $2 million to the Democratic Party. And then the Democratic Party turned and gave the money to Crawford's campaign. Per Wisconsin election law, large donations must first be given to the state parties, then transferred to the candidate. The difference is that what happened and the way that it was given, the money to the two people, it was a random drawing. You didn't say you were voting and so here's some money. It was a random drawing. If you show up today at 108.600, you will win this. We're going to randomly pull two people. You didn't get invited there because you voted. It's not a scam. It's not fraud. You just gave away money, which you can do. And it had nothing to do with that. It's really simple. It's a really simple thing, but some people didn't understand it. So now they're saying, it's fraud. Well, it's really not. I can go anywhere and randomly give people away money. Give money to people away? I can't get my words together. It must be Wednesday.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hey, Truth fam, this is your girl, Melanie Ricks, and I want to remind you to tune into Nothing But the Truth digital show with me, Melanie Ricks, presented by Visit Milwaukee. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m., a new episode drops on the 1017 The Truth YouTube page. And since it is on YouTube, I hold nothing back. I give you all my hot takes on celebrity gossip and give you the tea on relationships that you don't want to miss. Subscribe to 1017 The Truth on YouTube so you never miss Nothing But the Truth digital show, dropping every Wednesday at 6 p.m., presented by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world class.
The Alpha Phi Alpha, Delta Chi Lambda, 7 Jewels Foundation Incorporated has supported over 125 young men through the Young Gentlemen's Scholarship Botillion.
We're asking for your support to help continue this important work and empower the next generation of leaders. Through this program, young men receive mentorship, personal development, and scholarships to achieve their dreams.
We need your help to raise over $20,000 in scholarships, including a $5,000 grand prize.
Call 414-364-2835 to make a difference today. Support the Botillion, invest in the future of our young men.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Bike crash? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Lowering standards is so disrespectful, it says what she really thinks about students. This is from Mari. I don't get how people don't see that it's wrong to lower standards. They accept lies willingly. What happens is you lower standards so that you can make the bad kids look smart, the kids that aren't learning look smart. Meanwhile, in suburbs, they disregard that and push everybody to be exceptional. Then when you go to work, you look stupid because they really didn't teach you anything, but, we said you were proficient. And then everybody else is exceptional. So then they get the job. The same crap that's been going on for 400 years. Anyway, Val said, okay, but they not all up in Donald Trump's ear and firing people and paying money like Elon Musk. Huh? Oh, that's right. We gotta put Donald Trump in every single thing we say and talk about because, okay, all right. Aaron Morris says, Soros has always been the topic of conversation among conservatives while they ignore a Koch. Since when have the Koch brothers? The Koch brothers haven't been relevant since like George W. Bush. Nobody cares about them. The difference between Soros and Musk is that Soros isn't making political decisions. Musk is. No, he's not. Are you? What? Musk and Soros used to give money to the Democratic Party and to environmentalists for years. He just recently switched over to Trump. Now all of a sudden y'all mad at Musk. It's like, think about your argument. Soros and Musk were the two billionaires funding the Democratic Party through environmental causes. So when you say the topic of conversation among conservatives while they ignore I don't think anybody cares about. Nobody care about Cora. And that was a newspaper. That was JS Online that I was talking about. And they are not by any stretch of the imagination conservative. If anything, they lean significantly liberal. I'm just saying. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder what's going to happen in the state. Because did you see anybody black around Susan Crawford? I mean, granted, you can't expect not to see anybody black around Brad Schimmel. But did you see anybody? Anybody? support like anything. And we just voted because she was a Democrat. I wonder where she was when she gave her speech. Interesting. We go through all this trouble, we vote all these people in, and then they forget about it. Did Underly even come to the black community or go to black schools when she was? But yet, we voted her in. Ridiculousness. Absolutely ridiculous. And we let it happen. And when they tell you your kids have to go back to these lead-infested schools where they don't have a lot of teachers, and it's not the teacher's fault, it's the school board's fault. All these issues are not teacher faults. They're not school nurse faults. They're not paraprofessional faults. They're not school administration's fault. It's the school board. They let them slide. You know why? Because they didn't care. They would have never let Arrowhead or Wauwatosa School District slide. They'd have called them out on the heartbeat. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, you got money. You need money. You got this. You got that. We call it. We're going to send you a newsletter. We're having a press conference. You owe us money. But let it be MPS. Well, we just forget about it. Because they don't care about them kids. Meanwhile, the kids are predominantly what? White. I think we only make up 48% of the school district. But we're the largest block, or they just don't care. It's like one of those quiet things. If I don't tell, you won't tell. Schools on the south side, we just going to do it. Schools on the north side, And now we're stuck. So for another 4 years, you got to put up with this knucklehead woman while she does what, right? It's not that she messed up the schools. She never did anything for the schools. And if you have a problem, come see me. 833-212-1017. You have a problem, come talk. Let's talk. Because we're at a point now where by next fall, you may not have the schools that you thought you have. Listen to what people are saying, and then we'll take a break and we'll be back with the top 5 at 5. People are saying they voted against the Trump agenda. We're in Wisconsin. Trump ain't got nothing to do with Wisconsin. He wasn't going to tell Brad Shumway what to do because he couldn't. It would be illegal. He's a judge. But we have talked people into doing things. Same thing with the Republican side. Stupid. You thought you were voting in MAGA something? Dumb. But that's why we let politics drive our lives. And you know what we'll get in the end? Nothing.
This is 101.7 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Here at the new 101.7 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 101.7 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices, Milwaukee Black Talk.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Dear employer,
my name is Phil Martin.
My name is Michael Roskovich.
Ronaldo Bird.
Zach Deiser. I am writing to express my excitement at the opportunity to join your team.
As someone on the spectrum,
I possess a unique set of skills
that sets me apart from other candidates.
My detail-oriented nature allows me to communicate complex ideas,
to break down data,
to have no fear in meeting new people.
I may communicate in ways that are different from what you are used to.
Structure, routine,
and clear expectation.
Help me do my best work.
My autism allows me to have a perspective that needs to be seen and heard.
It allows me to make the world safer and improve systems in ways others can't.
It allows me to bring people's inner worlds to life with my artwork.
My autism
will bring your team important insights.
Thank you for your consideration.
An autistic inclusive workplace is good for business. It's time to make a change. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/win.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank. Your money works here. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. Locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 8332. That was my pretending I was Sherwin being me. Pretending I was Sherwin, pretending to be me. Which sounded dumb, right? Okay. If you worked your way through that, I basically called myself dumb. Right? Did you just call yourself dumb? Yes, you did. Oh, yes, I did. 833-212-1017 is the number. You know, there are times in everyone's life when life tosses you a curveball and You've had to readjust, realign, and really rededicate your resources to make things better. And sometimes you may know what to do, but many times it's the first time you've ever had to face an issue, especially when it's financial. For the first couple of decades and for the last couple of decades, guess what? I've been able to turn to Educators Credit Union. I had a financial issue that involved another family member, and I was able to go in and get advice and a plan. I'm here today to tell you it worked. At Educators, our members are our purpose. That's always strange saying, like our. Well, it's a membership. So when you join, you're a member. So we're members, like family, right? At a credit union, we're not considered or concerned. We don't even think about profits or bottom line or shareholders, or any of that stuff. Our greatest reward is you achieving your financial dreams through lower rates and access to free resources. And those resources are financial resources. Experience more heart and less hassle. You know, sometimes you can go to places and they want to, well, can you have this? And I need 5,687 pieces of documentation before they actually get to, by the way, this is what we're trying to help. Sometimes it just takes a heart to work through all the hassle in helping you. So I suggest you make the switch today. Achieve more at ECU.com, insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility is required. 833-212-1017 is the number. You know, if I get brave enough, I'm going to tell y'all about that financial issue I had with my family, and I had to go to Educators and say, all right, this is what happened, and this is what I'm dealing with, and I don't really know how to fix this, but I got to figure out. And they gave me a plan. And I was like, okay. And then I did it, and it worked, and I'm here today. And yes, I am still a member. Don't be trying to look for my, I'm going to go find Dr. Harrison's code. But no, I really implore you to look into it. I've had an excellent time. I told you my dumb story I did when I told y'all my dumb story when I went in and I got this stuff. Where did it come from? Somebody broke in. I got a charge on my account. Oh yeah, $2.65. I'm like, what is that? Why would I get it? And then we looked at it and found out I'd gone to some suburb and used my debit card to get air for my tire. And so air was like $2, but they charged tax. So it was like $2 and something. I forget what the tax was. Like, what is the tax now? Tax keeps going up. Anyway, so I paid for it. But then it showed up on my thing. And then I went, this isn't working. And then it ran out. So I put it in and swiped it again and used it for my other tire. And I'm like, I was ready to cancel it, go in. They were like, no, this came from such and such a place at such and such a time. Were you over there? And I was like, yeah. I was. Saved me some money, saved me some time. Except now you can like make everything while you wait. So there's really no reason not to go in and, see if you qualify. And just go in and find out. That's what I did.
Number 5.
CNN.com has some really bizarre, weird, and strange stuff. So for his fall-winter 2025 show at the Paris Fashion Week, Dutch designer Duran Lantic continued to break the mold with his offbeat design set in an office space that wouldn't look out of place in a science fiction thriller, Severance. The collection featured silhouettes of warped proportions as well as eye-catching styles that include zany animal prints and butt-revealing jeans. But that wasn't it. That wasn't what struck my fancy for this story. It's in CNN style. But it was two prosthetic torsos that stole the show. So what exactly is a prosthetic torso? Well, it's a chiseled six-pack sported by model Mika Aguinares. Then came the buxom climax. Chandler Fry, an emerging male model, wore a big pair of breasts. So the woman they tried to make look like a man, and the man they tried to make look like a woman. Personally, I thought they looked ridiculous. But the fact that the woman had a man's chest over herself and a six-pack, which was actually fake. And I'm like, how's that fashion? How's that fashion? It made absolutely no sense. It was ugly. But you know what it made me want to do? One of my goals in life was to visit Paris. No.
Number 4.
This from also CNN.com. Greg Cabana, a veteran government teacher, remembers a time where his job as an educator felt secondary to being the phone police. Cabana told CNN it was absolutely every class period. It wasn't the question of if students would have their phones out. It's just a question of how much would they. This year, he's no longer fighting that battle. So here's something that they did in a school district that wasn't Milwaukee. Wakefield High School in Arlington, Virginia is part of a pilot program for that district that launched in September 2024, requiring students to put their phones inside magnetic locking pouches every morning. Now, you know what this magnetic locking pouch is, right? Anybody know what they're called? It's a magnetic locking pouch. I'll let you look that up. At the end of the day, they use a specialized box to unlock them. It comes after the state's Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin issued an executive order last July requiring districts to move forward phone-free education in 2025. And in that order, Youngkin wrote the move was meant to promote a healthier and more focused educational environment. It was a little rocky in the beginning. They were hesitant. They didn't want to put up their phone. Oh, my God, I'm going to lose my phone. Well, I remember a time when you didn't have a phone and we had to, find a phone booth and call somebody. Can you imagine using a phone booth now with all the germs on it? Just gross. Anyway, so when I walked into the cafeteria right after we got them, all you could hear was the banging, and everyone was banging their pouch. Cabana, for his part, said the initial resistance justified the need for a drastic policy change. They're going through this kind of trouble to the extreme. This shows how this dependency is really turned into an addiction, not dissimilar from a drug. Between July 2021, what am I talking about? July 2021 and December 2023, one half of teenagers 12 to 17 reported 4 hours or more of screen time. Did you even go to school? Anyway, Wakefield students admit their screen time before the ban was oftentimes much higher. I remember the first day sitting in my civics class, said junior Alex Heaton. My phone was locked up in my bag and I kept reaching for it, but I couldn't. And the only thing I could do was sit it on my computer and listen. It was so freeing. Can you imagine that? You actually went to school to learn, and you feel like it's freeing because you can actually learn. Yeah, that's bizarre. That is bizarre. But I think it's just time for people to get out of their phones and pay attention to each other, because we don't do that anymore. We don't pay attention anymore.
Number 3.
This from JS Online and Politics by Stephen Martinez. Dane County Judge Susan Crawford unexpectedly cruised to victory Tuesday in her race against Waukesha County Judge Brad Schimmel for the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Crawford's victory gives liberals control. They already had control, didn't they? Anyway, of the High Court for the next 3 years when it is considering such issues as abortion, union rights, and more. It was the most expensive judicial election in U.S. history. 10 Wisconsin counties that voted for Donald Trump in 2024 election flipped for Crawford. Now, did they flip? See, here's my issue. In a national election, you vote one way. In a local election, you vote a different way, because I do. I pick my vote based on the person that I want in office, not the party, not the always vote Democrat or always vote Republican or vote Republican for this and Democrat for that. I vote what I feel should be as a true independent. And that way you don't have to bother with this people talking, oh, it flipped for Crawford. It really didn't. One person can vote in two parties for two different levels of race, and one doesn't touch the other. Crawford doesn't touch Trump. Trump's race doesn't touch Crawford. Then they run at the same time. And so I think we keep forgetting that, But that's how you write when you have a slant and you want to show the slant against a Donald Trump, or you want to show a slant against Crawford. And it's unfortunate that people do that. And then we pretend like, oh, my God, well, it really wasn't that big of a shock. Well, they voted the same way they would have voted midterm. That's what we asked them to do. We asked them, hey, can you come out and vote like it was a midterm? And then they came out and vote like a midterm. Oh, my God, I'm shocked. What? And that's why I question journalists today in different areas. You can't flip from Donald Trump unless you're flipping to somebody who's running against Donald Trump. It's a little disingenuous to say the county flipped. If I vote one way in the city, and then when I vote for a national election, vote a different way, what are you talking about? That's normal. Oh, no, you got to vote the same way every time, all the time, no matter what. Oh, okay. Isn't that dumb? I voted for Donald Trump in the national presidential election. So when I voted for state Supreme Court, I voted for Susan Crawford. Did I flip? No, because Susan Crawford wasn't running against Donald Trump. They're not even in the same office. This is weird. But we have to, I guess we got to sell paper somehow, right? We got to make sure people step up and read the nonsense. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Number 2.
Did y'all hear what Cory Booker did? Do you even know what Cory Booker did? That's unfortunate. Among the volumes of material deployed by U.S. Senator Cory Booker during his marathon speech that crossed the 24-hour mark, there's a quick reference to the man, Bob Euchre. So Cory Booker broke Strom Thurmond's 1957 speech against the Civil Rights Act that lasted 24 hours, 18 minutes. Cory Booker just talked and broke the 24-hour, 18-minute record. Senator Cory Booker from New Jersey. And a lot of people don't really understand what the relevance of that is. He started speaking Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. He doesn't eat, took periodic sips of 2 glasses of water that sat on the desk near 5 3-ring binders and a box of tissues. He didn't even leave to go to the bathroom. Although it isn't considered a filibuster since he's not attempting to stall or block legislation, the Senate floor will remain open as long as Booker is speaking. And he spoke, and he broke the record. And I think it's pretty cool. Because I think about, would I do that? Like, would I sit up and talk that long? Like, we should have a marathon. Like, we should have a marathon on the radio, right? How long the truth can stay live. No, you're not. You will not produce it. I'll produce it myself. I really don't need nobody else. You can just set up the stack and go home. After 20 hours of standing on the Senate floor, delivering what would become a record-breaking speech about the need for the resistance against the Trump administration, Cory Booker of New Jersey said, "Don't let this be just another day in America." He went 25 hours, 5 minutes in total. He broke the Senate speech record held by Strom Thurmond. He added an hour, a little under an hour. Yep. That's pretty cool. Have to say congratulations to Cory Booker. I guess he, like me, can actually say, like no one else can, "You talk too much."
Number 1.
This is from thegrio.com. Now, I don't understand. This is just me. I don't understand why people are so mad at Meghan Markle. I think people are just haters. I think people just can't understand how she became a princess. And they mad. Then they started bringing up she's mixed. Like that means something. Oh my God, you're mixed. You've got 2 colors in you. Are they going to turn into a pumpkin and explode? Or I don't know. Dumb. So then everybody put her on blast. I don't know if you heard this. They put her on blast. Her lifestyle series, With Love, Meghan, debuted on Netflix. And so everybody went like, so what? Big deal. Her As Ever collection officially went live. Well, when did it go live? It went live this morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Sold out in an hour. Our shelves may be empty, but our heart is full, wrote the Duchess of Sussex in a caption on Instagram celebrating her first day of sales. We sold out in less than an hour, and I can't thank you enough for celebrating, purchasing, sharing, and believing. It's just the start of As Ever official. Here we go. The brand went live with 8 products: raspberry spread, wildflower honey, 3 different flavors of tea, a crepe mix, shortbread cookie mix, and her viral flour sprinkles, priced from $12 to $28. The line was developed in collaboration with Netflix's consumer packaging goods division. I didn't know Netflix had a... Anyway. Her Instagram post included a photo of her in the garden from an interview with New York Times that also landed on Today, where she finally addressed the controversy surrounding her foray into lifestyle content, and everybody put her on blast, and I don't know what she's doing, and blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? She won. And what can we say about the people that didn't like that? I think she said it best. Hater.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices, and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices. One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
Hey, Truth Nation, it's your girl DT from The Truth Unfiltered with DT and Dr. Ken Harris. Now listen, at a critical time, through the Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, Old National Bank provided the resources I needed to sustain my business. Now the process had its challenges, but I was supported, and it was also an invaluable learning experience for future ventures. I am so grateful for the support that helped my business thrive. Old National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, all loans subject to approval.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the Lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks. And enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. There's lots of buzz surrounding the draft, but you won't find one seeping through Pella's windows and doors. In fact, you should make Pella your number one pick because right now you can take advantage of no interest financing options or free glass upgrades as long as you order by April 30th. Make a statement by adding Pella's architectural interest inside and out with maximum design flexibility. Their talented designers and installers can match your unique home through dramatic sizes, custom colors, finishes, profiles, product types, and more. Along with durable and distinguished details, all Pella products stand the test of time, which is why they confidently offer the best wood warranty in the industry. Don't miss out on no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Certain restrictions apply, and the deal ends April 30th, so place your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017 is the number. You just can't let it go, can you? Yep, that's the jam. I just voted against Representative Lana. What did I miss? Curly Q, has your playlist stopped? I agree. Everybody flip for Crawford. It's silly propaganda. Cory Booker is a cornball. Anyway, Miriam said, Curly Q, has your playlist stopped? And then Low End said, I agree. Nobody flipped for Crawford. It's silly propaganda. Yeah, it's not that they flipped, right? I think what the newspaper's trying to do is because when you have a reporter who is liberal, many times they believe that how they're writing is a normal way to write. So they write it in a way to make it look like, oh, look, they went from Republican to Democrat. Well, they really didn't. They were voting for a state race. And everybody knows state races, the majority, it's rare that they're not Democrat. Like, it's just statewide races, white women win. Like, I don't know what to tell you. The fact that they ran Brad Schimmel, a white guy, from Waukesha, they were destined to lose. But I don't really care about the Supreme Court because it's going to always go back and forth, and every 3 years, somebody on the court is going to run, and it's just always in flux. It's local that I care about. National is going to be national unless it affects you directly. All these people screaming about Doge, most of them are not affected by Doge. Most of them don't have family members affected by Doge. I'm glad the U.S. Supreme Court or one of the district courts told Donald Trump that he can't fire probationary people. Like the whole point that you got the job is because you're probationary. You can't get fired because you're probationary. Now, after you're off probation and you can't do the job, that's different. They can let you go for cause. But you can't fire somebody who's, okay, so let me get this right. I'm going to get hired on, but because now you don't want to spend any money, you just decide you're going to get rid of me. Well, no, that's not how that works. And luckily, that's not how that works. That you have to actually do something wrong or not do something wrong, not fulfill your job duties in the specified thing. You know, you were supposed to type 600 words on this, and you had to write that, and you had to read this, and you didn't. That's all. But to be new and have not been tenured at your job and we're going to let you go, that just makes no sense. And I don't get why. I just don't understand why. And when you argue a point, argue your point. Don't argue by comparing it to something or somebody else. You know what I mean? Soros has always been the topic of conversation among conservatives while they ignore Coke. Like, don't like compare like apples and apples. Just make your point about Soros or make your point about Koch, the Koch brothers. But don't compare the two. Because they differ politically, but they get along just fine. I'm 99% sure of that. You ever heard any fights between Elon Musk and George Soros? Neither of them were born here. Both of them immigrated here. And they're two of the richest men in America. They came over here and took advantage of your laws, your statutes, your business, your markets, and made billions, hundreds of billions of dollars. And instead of showing you how to do it, they kept it for themselves. They'll get you all jazzed up politically, but they won't give you any money. And had I been in, where was they? Green Bay? I should have went. Hey, can I have $1 million? Thank you. Can I have $1 million? Can I have $1 million? Put your money where your mouth is. Say you support everybody in America. Give me $1 million. But we know that's not going to happen. When it comes time to step up and do things that are better for other people, we got to take care of ourselves first. Even though sometimes you should step up and take care of other people. I think about the past 30 some odd years that I've actually had to do that. Miss softball games and rugby games and basketball games and all sorts of things at school. Why? I was working. Working for other people who didn't give a flip about me, didn't give a flip about the police, didn't give a flip about whether or not I was dead or alive, as long as I did what they wanted me to do. And then complained about when you help them. Didn't like how you helped them. I don't like how you helped me. So I come to help you. You complain that I helped you the wrong way when you don't even know the right way to do it. And now you cause me stress and anguish complaining about something that you know nothing about because you think you're going to get paid. And then you don't get paid, and then you get mad. Not understanding that your complaint really wasn't a complaint. You actually did it the right way. Missed PTA meetings, school board meetings, games your children are in, stuff you can never get back dealing with somebody else who really doesn't care about you. But then when it comes time for that person to step up and do for you, you expect them to step up. But then you'll follow a political party 110% and get zero in return and never even complain about it. Has anybody seen the holes that are in the street? Have you noticed the holes that are in the street downtown? Have you noticed the holes that are in the neighborhoods downtown? I guarantee you when those holes get on South 27th Street, South 92nd Street, when they get on West Beloit, then the city will change. Till then, anyway, it'll change nothing. When somebody in Bayview hits their car in a hole and picks up the phone and calls downtown and calls their alderman or woman or whoever's out there and the mayor's office, then it'll change. Then road work will occur, but the road work will occur in their neighborhood, still not on the north side where we got holes because nobody cares. Tory Lowe should not be able to, at our 4th annual Tory Lowe Community Cleanup on Saturday, April 12th from 8 till 12, he shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to sign up to volunteer to clean up a city that should already be clean. We shouldn't have to have cousin subs register and show up to give you lunch if you show up at the last cleaning site to get a free lunch. That just makes no sense to me. truthcommunitycleanup.com. The fact that you had to make a website that said truthcommunitycleanup.com to clean and beautify your own city, like, what does that say about you? I know what it says about Tory. He cares about the city. But like always, it's going to be rainy, it's going to be cold, it's going to be overdraft, Saturday morning, 8 to 12, April 12th, we're going to all be out there cleaning up the street, supported by 1MKE. Why? Because we are 1MKE, because we need to come together to help clean up a city that you should have been cleaning up, not throwing your trash out the window, not throwing your food containers out, not throwing your clothes in the street, picking up after yourself. But you know who I really blame? The people that didn't pick up after you. This whole 4th annual Truth Community Cleanup, the Tory Lowe Community Cleanup, sponsored by Cousin Sub, Reyes Coca-Cola, Landmark Credit Union, and Waste Management. Makes no sense to me. But yet we have to do this. And we're going to do it every single year that we're here to remind you that the only person that can keep your community clean is you. There's only one thing that's worse than trash. And now with 1017 The Truth Traffic, here is Debbie Lazica.
Northbound on 43, backing up right out of the Marquette all the way up towards Keith. Southbound slowing down from North Avenue down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge, heading down towards Chase. Then we've got westbound on 94, slowing down from about 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's just a little bit backed up right through the Stadium interchange. And then there's some debris on 894 southbound, just south of the Zoo interchange, off on the left shoulder, so that might be slowing things down through the interchange itself. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, a low of 42. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and breezy, a high of 53. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazica on 1017 The Truth.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Keep your business safe, secure, and spotless with the Omega Security Guard and Cleaning Team. Proudly located in Milwaukee and female-owned, Omega delivers professional security and tailored cleaning services to meet your needs. Whether it's event security or a custom cleaning plan, their dedicated team goes above and beyond to exceed your expectations. Because at Omega, they're not just your service provider, they're your partner in peace of mind. Contact Omega Security Guard today or online at OmegaSecurityGuard.com. Omega Security Guard and Cleaning, protecting what matters most.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here is Carrie Noni with her truth.
You know, sometimes the mundane isn't a burden, it's the beauty of living. I came to this conclusion after recently watching the movie Subservience on Netflix. It's a crazy film, y'all. I would suggest you check it out. But it's a story that explores our relationship with technology and how it's programmed to take our burdens away. This movie really got me thinking about how much we're wired to avoid struggle. We create tools and shortcuts to make life easier, whether it's robots, apps, or even outsourcing everyday tasks. But in the process, we risk forgetting the value of the little things we go through every day. Sure, folding laundry or grocery shopping might feel like chores. I literally dread cleaning up. But isn't there something grounding about them? Something that reminds us we're human. Life isn't just about the highlights or the easy parts. It's about the messy, repetitive, and sometimes inconvenient stuff too. Think about it. Who would you be if you didn't have to face the small frustrations that test your patience, or the routines that push you to show up for yourself or the people around you? The mundane moments, the ones we rush to escape, are often the ones that shape us. If life was nothing but convenience, where's the growth? Where's the grit that teaches us resilience? And most importantly, where's the appreciation for the moments that do take our breath away? So maybe the next time you find yourself annoyed by the daily grind and are on the brink of crashing out, you pause, you breathe, and remind yourself that the beauty of life isn't just in the big moments, but in every little thing that makes them possible.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to Jammin' with Juice with Ben Jammin and Carrie Noni weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth, powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. A busy night in Wisconsin sports. We start with the Brewers, who get their first win of the season, a 5-0 victory over the Royals.
Payoff pitch. Fly ball. Deep right center. See you later. Number 1 for Yelich.
With the win, the Brew Crew improving to 1-4 on their season. And lastly, we'll head over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks also snapped their 4-game losing skid as they beat the Suns 133-123 on the return of former head coach Mike Budenholzer in Milwaukee.
Hesitation. Giannis drives right at Richardson, hammers it down with a monster right-hand slam. The Greek Freak bringing the thunder.
Giannis with a team-high 37 points, and with the win, the Bucks improving to 41-34 on the season. They'll head on the road next to take on the Sixers in Philly on Thursday night. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Music in the 70s and 80s and maybe the 80s and the 90s was pretty hokey. There's a pretty hokey song. You got to admit that. They probably had a drum machine. They probably had a drum machine and all right, we're going to set it up. We're just going to make it boom, and it just went over and over and over. It's the same thing with the same fake synthesizer. Like, really? I tell you. 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me check what y'all talking about. What y'all talking about? Cory Booker's not a cornball. Cory Booker is not a. Is it Booker or Brooker or what was his name? I don't really like dudes, so I ain't no skin off my. Cory Booker. It's Cory Booker. Now, I have a friend of mine who's from the area named Brooker. So I'm just saying. And Brooker seems kind of weird name anyway, ain't it? I'm just teasing because he's probably listening. 833-212-1017 is the number. Winky Blue, what's going on?
Hey, good afternoon to you, Dr. Ken.
Hey, what's up?
I hear you talking about people that vote and then they don't retrieve anything they don't get no bang for their buck, not even a little sparkler for their buck. But Dr. Ken, the Republican Party has now got to realize something, that they cannot slide in the home on a Donald Trump's victory. And Donald Trump had 20%. 18 to 20%. I got the map of 20% black vote right out of Wisconsin.
Right.
So he courted that vote.
Right.
These dudes don't know how to. They don't have that. See, they ain't never jammed with no black folk. Donald Trump been around.
Well,
Negro. He ain't got no problem.
Wait a minute.
Well, come on, give me what you finna say.
You and I both know that that's not true, because back in the day, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, Democratic Party was down for black people, and they showed up. So you can't say that. You can't say they ain't never showed up.
Okay, listen. We talking about right now the Republican Party. If they want to win votes, they're going to need the black vote right now.
Yeah, but they got to show up to. What should they do?
We understand that, but they don't have.
Stop coming up with excuses. What should they do for the black community?
Okay, what they need to do is come out, court the black vote. See, first of all, these are suburban nights.
No. I want outcomes. I don't want to.
Hey man, look. Let me say this to you. Don't
raise your voice.
They have to engage the black community.
In what way?
I worked with the.
In what way? You just talking nonsense.
Look here. Here's a good example.
Give me something.
You gave $2 million. Okay, you asked me a question. I'm going to answer it.
I'm waiting for you.
You gave $2 million away to two people. Do you know what $2 million could have did on the ground for in this state? And what could have happened? When I worked for the Trump campaign, I worked all the way keeping America Trump tight, okay? We worked all the way from Ashland, Wisconsin to the bottom of Wisconsin, even into Illinois, around Zion and Marietta in that area.
So beyond money, what is it can be done to help black people? I don't care about knocking on doors. It's over.
Are you talking about helping or helping to win?
I don't care about winning.
There's a lot of things that
now that you won, what is going to happen now in the black community? What is going to happen to reward those 20% or everybody that voted for him?
Mm-hmm. That's a great question. That's a great question. And guess what? That's a great question. But this is what I asked Al Sharpton.
I'm guessing what you asked Al Sharpton. I asked you, what is the Republican Party going to do for black people now that they're in office? What will the outcome be in 4 years? Listen to the question. Listen to the question.
I'm listening to you.
What will the outcome be in 4 years?
I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Without representation at the table, Dr. Ken, we'll be just like we was at the Democrat Party.
Thank you much. Appreciate you. Have a good one. Sandra, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hi, Dr. Ken.
Hello, how are you? You got about a minute.
I am fine. Okay, that was a good one. Winky Blue. I was just going to make a remark about the city, and you were saying about tourists shouldn't have to get a group to go around and help clean up the city.
Right.
But the city, like where I am, the city owns these properties. Now, why they can't hire people, give people jobs so people can live?
Why should I hire somebody to pay when the city's supposed to clean it up themselves? Because it's their house. That don't make no sense.
It's not a house there. It's empty land.
Doesn't matter.
Empty land, Dr.
It doesn't matter. Clean it up.
And then people come dump their garbage.
I don't know. All we got to do is put cameras out. All we got to do. No.
We scan our own groceries.
No.
We scan our. No, this is freebies.
That's how you feel.
The city wants freebies. It is. It's true because these are city properties, houses boarded up. They've been boarded up for years. City property.
All right, you got another 30 seconds. You got another 30 seconds. So
okay, thank you. But I'm blaming the city. We need to get somebody that can tell us how we can get this city constructed where we're not talked about and punched in the face, because everything ugly is blackface. Everything to be killed is blackface.
Of course.
We're crooks. We're criminals.
Of course.
So, no, it's not true. It's not true. So I'm fighting for the blackface.
I'm just agreeing with you.
I'm saying it's not true. You said, of course. I'm not. We have to get number one.
I got time for all the number one, number two, number two.
We got a crew coming up. We got a crew coming up.
Okay.
And then we're having meetings for the city. And so now I want to get people working for the city. I want the city to pay them. Just like they sit at the table and
get
checks.
Tax money.
Politicians get checks.
Nope.
No. Politicians.
Right. Thank you, Sandra. Appreciate you. Got to go. 833-212-1017 is the number. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. You got 1 minute.
Hey, so here's what they could do. Now that they don't have the education department sending the money through all these little different people, they can send it directly to the states for, say, schools, and have Governor Evers distribute it to the schools.
Absolutely not. Send it directly to the school.
No.
Directly to the school.
Okay.
You send it to Evers. Evers is going to give it to DPI, and Underly is going to mess over the city. Absolutely not.
As long as they get the middle people out and it goes directly to the services. Yep. Okay, thanks.
All right, take care. All that other nonsense we be talking about, all this other ridiculousness about, we're going to do this and it's going to work out. No, it's not going to work out. And the reason it's not going to work out is because you keep putting people in the middle, and the people in the middle will always divert it to their own personal ideals. And when that happens, we know historically black people always lose.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Seriously injured? Make one call. That's all.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
So I was reading a story that Target's numbers are kind of down. Apparently, the consumer boycotts do have a significant impact, and no corporation is aware of that more than Target. They reported last week on News1.com that due to efforts of the black activist groups and clergy members like Atlanta-based pastor Dr. Jamal Bryant, boycotts against Target, which publicly announced the rollback of its diversity initiatives back in January, appeared to follow the marching orders of President Donald Trump, had steadily increased while the retail stock and revenue starts to plummet. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. The analysis. Note the analysis tonight. All right, then we got Tori Lowe Show coming up at 6 o'clock, and we'll be listening to a rebroadcast throughout the hours. You can always check us out by going back on YouTube and watching us, but you can also, when you're there, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we're live. Or you can just go to Spotify, Apple Store, Google Play Store, and listen to the rebroadcast in its entirety right here on 1017 The Truth. TheTruth.com. Just go sign up. All right? Hey, God bless. Take care. Thank you, DJ Brother Z.
All right, Dr. Kevin 4 to 6. Let's get it.
I'm out.